I have been ranting for years, honestly, but especially in the last year about ending the gerontocracy, about getting old people out of leadership. I wrote an op ed in February asking all Democrats over the age of 70 to retire, to make this their last term, and to create space for new leadership. And there's a new story out in New York Magazine today that really gets at why this matters. One of my all time favorite writers and people, if I'm being honest, Rebecca Traister, wrote it. Rebecca spoke to many of the older leaders, mostly women, if we're being honest, who have stepped aside to make way for new leaders. She asked them, why is it so hard for your colleagues to do the same? And so many of them talk about the attachment that these older folks have to their careers, to as their identities. It's all of who they are. Others talked about how sad it was to have colleagues who physically could not get around, who literally were not present, whose grandkids were off to college and their spouses had passed away. Their staff were literally their caretakers. It's honestly, if the stakes weren't so high that it was actually hurting our democracy, it would be a deeply, deeply crushing tale of the frailty of the human spirit as we embrace or face, rather, our own mortality. I want to read to you one particular paragraph because I think it speaks so clearly to this moment. The inability to see a path forward is one of the darkest aspects of our current quagmire. While the olds may think they are saving us by sticking around, what they are often doing is denying the future itself just when Americans most keenly long to be reminded there is one ahead of us. This is what I've learned working at Run for Something and what I learned writing When We're in Charge about what it feels like and means when new folks take power. We can imagine a better tomorrow. We can be freed from the way things happened yesterday, knowing they do not have to dictate what we do next. When our older leaders are clinging to office for so long, we lose the ability to dream. That's what the gerontocracy has done. On a slightly less sappy note, for the lulz, Rebecca texted me to ask me what I thought of the Graham Plattner controversy. This was right after the Reddit post broke, but before the Nazi tattoo, which, yikes. And I said, ask Janet Mills if she knows what Reddit is. And Rebecca did. I love it when they commit to the bit with me.